remember your experience of delivering that moment?
Yeah, it was one of those nights, Kate, when happily my planets aligned, because I was very relaxed that night. The fact is that Manchester City was on the other side, and as far as I was concerned, that's what everybody was watching. And I was at the Olympic Stadium, Rome. Messi was playing, funnily enough, that night, not very well, and it was impossible for Rome to turn this thing round. And I thought, well, doesn't matter. Go and enjoy it. That's always my view. There's many, many people who'd love to be doing what you're doing. There's no point sulking about it. But if I'd been inclined to sulk, I'd have been thinking, well, what's the point? And so I was prepared, but it certainly wasn't a chore, but it wasn't going to be the night of my life. And it wasn't until Roma had to make up a 3-goal deficit on Barcelona, which just wasn't going to happen. And they scored the first 2 goals. And it was only then that I thought, do you know what? If they happen to score again, this is going to be a thing. And of course, that coincided, and this is why I suppose it did go quite big. That coincided with the Liverpool-Man City tie being all done and dusted. That became one-sided, and people turned over. And of course, I wasn't aware of that. And so there was an improbably significant audience for a game which otherwise nobody would have been into. And then, bless him, Manolas scored this goal, and the least likely scorer. And people ask about the moment itself, and the truth is that the line, and I'm about to break my own rules by saying it, but I'd be disingenuous not to, because it's been so often quoted back to me when I said Roma have risen from their ruins. That was a line that fortunately came to mind in the moment because I hadn't got a clue who scored the goal. It was just a big centre-half who wasn't meant to be scoring, and he got a flick at the near post, and I had to find something to say until the director found him in the crowd of players, and I could see the number on his shirt, and so that goes in. I eventually see who it is. It's Manolas. What did I know about him? He's Greek.
Manolas, the Greek god in Rome.
And so I kind of got lost in this splurge of something which and got carried away on the assumption, I say again, that truthfully it was a pressure-free night and no one was watching, and as it happened they were. So there you go. It was a kind of series of happy accidents.
Can you tell us about the atmosphere in the place, or were you just so in your own moment, or can you feel how it felt?
No, it felt crazy. It felt absolutely crazy. That this was an impossibly good night for Roma. It's a very famous football club in one of the world's most famous things. It's not as if they haven't seen big stuff before, but you know what Italian football support's like. I mean, they are a pretty manic bunch, and this thing that shouldn't have happened, and it was just a remarkable place to be. And coming out of there afterwards, they're all on their Vespas and all of that, zipping up and down the roads and waving their flags and all of that, and it was a fabulous place to be, actually.